What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to my podcast. I'm your favorite Gambian bad guy, Ibra, and today we're going to be talking about the most important topic, and that's the UFC's welterweight division. And I know this is a very important division because most people don't talk about it, but what they don't realize is that the welterweight division, mate, contains the probably the best fighter in the UFC's roster, who's obviously the Nigerian Nightmare, in Kamaru Usman, the reigning undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world. When you judge Usman when it comes to his striking is just flawless. But naturally, he's known for his grappling, i.e., his wrestling. He's predominantly a wrestler, NCAA All-American wrestler. Hence, he got the name Marty from Nebraska. I mean, he's just NCAA All-American. I think he's Division two wrestler, and he's facing Masvidal, but obviously he's beating Jorge Masvidal. So I don't understand the concept of fighting someone that you've already beaten. But anyways, it is what it is. But Niger, we know the carry last, and yeah, Colby Covington, though Usman has defeated him at UFC 245 by TKO. The fight was actually brilliant. It was really close, to be honest. Some people had Colby Covington winning that fight, maybe 3-1, and others had Usman winning the fight 3-1. So yeah, that's essentially how people had it. But I mean, talking about me, I actually had it Usman winning, to be honest, 3-1 going into the fifth and final round. And yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare put up the pace, and Colby Covington eventually landed a beautiful cross, which kind of staggered Colby Covington, and then he followed up with, pressure and landed another cross that sat him down, and he just went for the finish. And eventually, the ref at the time, Matt Goddard, finally called it a quit, and Usman had his first title defense, obviously after retrospectively winning the belt against the former champion in Tyron Woodley. So yeah, he's at the moment the most interesting fighter in the UFC's roster. I know obviously there's a lot of fanboys of Israel Adesanya. I'm one of them as well. But like Usman he has style, mate. That Mahoga has some style. You know what I mean? His jabs pop in his last fight. He trained with the great legendary coach in Trevor Whitman from Denver, Colorado, the same training camp as Ropes Namajunas and Justin the Highlight Gaethje. So yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman is on fire, to be honest, absolutely on fire. And what's next for him? Well, he's going to be facing Jorge Masvidal for another time. His last performance, although people might see the fight to be close, it's close standing up, but Usman obviously physically stronger than Masvidal, took him down and just dominated him on the ground. And I don't understand what's the whole point of making that fight happen for the second time. But maybe Usman might have called him out, or Masvidal might have called him out, so someone really wanted to settle the scores and make the fight happen. But when you think of it, and when you think of who the real opponent of Usman should be, because the UFC's division is kind of the welterweight division, it was exciting until Usman started wiping everyone out. I'm thinking Colby Chaos Covington, although he got his jaw broken by Kamaru Usman, he has shown in his last fight against Tyron Woodley that he has what it takes to be champion, essentially. So he has the potential, but because Usman and Colby's style kind of intertwine a little bit, in a sense that they're both predominant wrestlers who turn strikers. So Usman and Colby, they wouldn't be fighting each other, trying to wrestle each other out, because, their wrestling essentially cancels each other, because both of them are really good wrestlers. I don't think Colby's a better wrestler than Usman, but I don't believe that Usman is a better wrestler than Colby as well. So instead of wasting your time trying to take someone down who's just about as good, if not better than you at wrestling, of equal status in wrestling, why don't you just strike with them? Hence, that's what they've done in the first fight. They stood up and trade and bang. You know what I mean? Just punches Colby from the southpaw stance, and Usman obviously switching stances, which is amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, the welterweight division at the moment, it's not as stacked as it was initially, because Usman has just wiped everyone out. But hopefully, the winner between Colby Covington and the winner between the Nigerian Nightmare and game-bred Jorge Masvidal would obviously potentially, hopefully, face Colby Covington for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. But obviously, we've also got my boy Leon Edwards from Birmingham, who I think is a really interesting fighter, a really good fighter who would make it, you know, a tough fight for either one of those people. His last loss actually came against Kamaru Usman in 2015. So since then, he's just been wiping people out. He's defeated Gunnar Nelson, great Gunnar Nelson. He's defeated Vincente Luque. He's beat up Cowboy Cerrone. He's beat up Rafael dos Anjos, former UFC lightweight champion of the world. And he's beaten multiple people along the way as well. So I don't understand why Leon Edwards is not the champion. His last fight was against a guy called Bilal Muhammad. Obviously, the fight unfortunately ended through an eye poke. But let's be honest here. I think the best thing to do is just let's get a rematch between the two guys and let's allow them to settle the score because it was an accidental eye poke. But again, we need the fight between whoever the champion is and Leon Rocky Edwards, because he deserves a title fight, and he has paid his due diligence, and I think he deserves a title fight. And I would actually love to see him fight Usman or Masvidal, because remember in 2018 when Darren Till fought Masvidal and Masvidal knocked out Darren Till, what's his name? Leon Edwards got punched by Jorge Masvidal when Masvidal was having an interview, and Leon Edwards came like a hooligan. And when he came like a hooligan, Masvidal was like, yikes. And he punched him straight. It was like, do you come in? It's like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 1, 2. And he wasn't having it. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to be honest that he punched the guy. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you listening to this quick sort of mixed martial arts rant or whatever the hell you want to call it. And until next time, salute. Come on, don't make me look stupid.